Parajumble. How to attempt parajumble. No matter how many times I have attended the session, no many times, how many videos I have watched about the topic parajumble, I'm still not getting it. Please help me. So guys, in today's video, I'm just going to give you one approach that will surely help you to get your performance better. But then, guys, parajumble is a kind of a question where no trick, no gimmick can help you. That is the reason still people are finding it difficult, because there is no way out but to be good in the language English. This approach will definitely help you to better your scores. But then, this approach can only help you if you have attempted parajumble questions prior or if you know the basics. So let's get started. So guys, as I said, I'm going to give you one approach to get the alignment right. Now, what do you mean by alignment? Alignment is nothing but, we all know what is parajumble. A paragraph is given and that is jumbled. That is not in a sequence. The lines of those paragraphs is not in sequence. Now, all you have to do is you have to align them into a sequence. So let's get started. Now, guys, definitely I'm going to give you steps to follow, and all these things will help you to get the understanding. But then you must know what parajumble is. You must be knowing basic ideologies, approaches before you come on to this video, because this video will only help you if you know what parajumble is. I'm not going to introduce you to the concept of parajumble. However, I'm going to share the link in the description box where, if you want, you can watch that video first if you want to know what is parajumble. So let's get started with the steps to follow, and please do these. Read all the lines carefully. Now, what happens is, the moment we see a parajumble question in front of us on a computer screen, we start making assumptions. We start making decisions in our head that I cannot do it, I can do it. And 90% people imagine that they cannot do this question. If you yourself convincing, if you are feeling and imagining that you cannot attempt that question, there is no way in the world you can attempt it. So, first of all, do not do that. Simply read all the lines carefully. Read all the lines the way it is. For example, 4 or 5 lines are given, it doesn't matter how many lines are given. Do not start aligning them after reading 2 lines, 3 lines. In fact, read all the lines carefully. Do not worry if you do not understand much in first few lines. Now what happens is, the moment you start reading the lines, maybe in first 2 lines there are few words that are not making sense to you. You are not understanding the meaning of those 2 or 3 words, or maybe those 2 or 3 lines, the meaning or the understanding of those 2 to 3 lines are not making sense to you. Do not worry about it. Just go with the flow. Do not conclude the topic of the jumbled passage in first few lines. Usually the topic is disclosed or understood in last few lines. Now what I'm trying to explain here, after 2 or 3 lines people start imagining or concluding that what the topic is all about. I will be giving you an example on a white screen, and of course we will be attempting parajumbles to get that. I read 2 or 3 lines, I assume or I conclude that the passage is on, maybe, let's say, stock market. The 2 or 3 lines are talking about stock markets, but the last 2 lines they are talking about scam in stock market. Now there is a series that is 1992 scam of Harshad Mehta. So if you've not seen it, watch it. Even I didn't see it, but I've got rave reviews, so that's the reason I'm giving you an example. First 3 lines will talk about something, but you cannot conclude what the passage is all about. And without knowing what the passage is all about, how you can align them into a sequence? So make sure that you read all the lines. Do not get confused. Do not conclude something about the paragraph in just 2 or 3 lines, whether it's understanding or whether the topic, what the passage is about. So what I mean is, was you have arranged the lines into sequence by using your way. Of course, you are solving parajumble, so you know what I'm talking about. Whatever way you have adopted, once you have got some sequence, now we all can align lines into some sequence, whether it's right or wrong. Once you have done that, make sure to check again. Make sure to check again. What I mean by this is, make sure that you try to know what is it, and ask yourself, is this the best possible combination? I mean to say, ask yourself whether this is the right answer, or is there any way or any better way to get them into a sequence. Do not invest more than the decided time as per your preparation plan or the situation in the examination. Now, guys, these two pointers are very important. It is not just what you decided, how you prepared, it is also depending upon the situation. Now, life is unpredicted. Maybe in examination, few questions will make sense to you that you have assumed that will not make sense to you, and maybe few questions that you were getting into your head as your strength, but in on the day of examination you are unable to get them right. So anything can go this way or that way. Do not panic if you are getting the answer good. If not, do not invest more time, because you have to save time for questions where you can get the right answer. The simple way is just scan through the page examination. I will be telling you how to do that. I will be making a video on that as well. But then right now I just want you guys to focus on these 5 pointers, and these 5 pointers will definitely better your performance, improve your accuracy. Of course, in CAT examination, you do not have options. That is the biggest challenge or hurdle. Moving on, do not skip this question and do not invest more time than you have decided. Now, this is the golden point, and that is the reason I have kept this point separate. What happens is, I have seen many people, they suggest that skip parajumble, or by their suggestion, people also assume that they're going to skip parajumble because there are other questions also. They are idiots. Please do not be that. Why you are simply skipping a question without even attempting it, though you know how it's to be attempted? You have to read the sentences, align them into a sequence. If you are not getting it, fine. But what if you get it? Why you are giving up before even trying? And make sure that you do not invest more time. It doesn't matter if you're getting a parajumble right after investing 5 minutes into it, because there are only 40 minutes given to you in the examination. You have to invest your time wisely. So either you get the answer after going through it, if not, move on. Do not invest much time into it. Now, let's go on to a question. So, guys, let's attempt this question. As I said, read all the lines the way they are and do not conclude what the passage is about or what the topic of the passage is. Let me read it for you guys, or let's read it together. If you have seen a little line of text on websites that says something like customers who bought this also enjoyed that, you have experienced this collaborative filtering firsthand. The problem with these algorithms is that they don't take into account a host of nuances and circumstances that might interfere with their accuracy. So maybe you are not able to understand after reading these two lines what the passage is about. Do not give up. Do not jump onto conclusions that you cannot attempt it, you cannot do it. Remember those pointers I've mentioned. Rather, you keep on reading and focus on what and hang on to what you have understood. So it's about some kind of algorithm, some problem, and the problems around that stuff. If you just bought a gardening book for your cousin, you might get a flurry of links to books about gardening recommended just for you. The algorithm has no way of knowing you hate gardening and only bought the book as a gift. Now, you getting an idea about artificial intelligence, about the algorithm, or about something that maybe they cannot judge whether you like it or not, but they will just simply tell you that how things must be done. Collaborative filtering is a mathematical algorithm by which correlations and co-occurrences of behaviors are tracked and then used to make recommendations. It's basically about recommendations. For example, if you search something on Google, all of a sudden you will realize that stuff related to that is coming into the recommendation box of YouTube. So that is what it is about. I hope you guys are understanding what I have been mentioned here till now. Remember what I said, this video will make sense to you only if you have gone through the parajumble. And in parajumble, unfortunately, there is no magical trick potion, but only one thing that will help you in the examination, that how well you are read, how well you understand a given situation, analyze it, and then how you can align them. The better you are in a language, English, the better your chances are to get this answer right. Now, I want you guys to pause this video here and try to make a pair. Yes, the first thing what you must do is to make a pair. Try to find a combination of two sentences. It doesn't matter what that combination is going to be, but let me help you with one combination. One combination I say that is 1 and 2. Yes, 1 and 2 are going together. If you know 1 and 2 are together, all you need to do is align 4 or 3. Maybe it's 1 2 4 3, 1 2 3 4, 3 1 2 4, or 4 1 2 3. Anything is possible. I want you guys to pause this video now and try to arrange them into sequence. I hope you did it. You paused the video, you tried to know what is it. So let's understand. Now I've already mentioned that 1 and 2 is a sequence or is a pair. If you have seen a little line of text on website that says something like, what is the topic about? Topic is about filtering mathematical algorithm depending upon your behavior, so that I recommend that to you. That is what they are talking about. And what is the introduction? The introductory best sentence is 4. Now remember guys, why I said that it is important for you to understand what the topic is about, because that will help you to find the starting sentence. Getting the introduction is the most important aspect. So once you have understood what the topic is about, it is becoming easy for you to get the start. So 4 is the start. Definitely 1 is going to come after that, then 2. I've already mentioned that 4 1 2 is a sequence, and the last remaining sentence is 3. Now guys, these all questions I've taken from CAT 2019 examination. It is not easy or difficult, but rather it's best to attempt questions previously asked in previous CAT examinations so that you get the experience the way it should be. I hope things are making sense to you. If not, do not worry. Let's attempt one more question. I want you guys to read the sentences now. Please pause the video. I hope you paused the video, you went through the lines. Remember what I said, read all the lines, and before you come on a conclusion that what the passage is about, you must go through all the sentences. Metaphors may map to similar meanings across languages, but their subtle differences can have a profound effect on our understanding of the world. Now, one more issue is there. The moment people see a parajumble where huge sentences are there, they come on a conclusion that they cannot attempt this question. Remember one more point while I was explaining you the steps to follow. Do not jump onto the assumptions or conclusions. Do not imagine beforehand that you can attempt a question or not. If you convince yourself before even attempting the question that it's difficult and you cannot do it, trust me, you won't be able to. So do not judge the book by its cover. I'm sure you must have heard this sentence or this metaphor, this proverb or whatever. Latin scholars point out Cape Diem is a horticultural metaphor that, particularly seen in the context of its source, is more accurately translated as plucking the day, evoking the plucking and gathering of ripening fruits or flowers, enjoying a moment that is rooted in the sensory experience of nature, unrelated to the force implied in seizing. The phrase "kabdim," which is often translated as seize the day, and its accompanying philosophy has gone on to inspire countless people in how they live their lives and motivates us to see the world a little differently from the norm. It's an example of one of the more telling ways that we mistranslate metaphors from one language to another, revealing in the process our hidden assumptions about what we really value. So these 4 lines are talking about what? It is talking about the translation of or mistranslation of metaphors, kahawat in Hindi, what we call it, from language to another. So, which sentence? Of course, fourth sentence is an example of one of the more telling ways. So, is the more telling ways mentioned here? Now, guys, which sentence is the perfect start? If you read these 3 lines, I want you guys to pause this video now and try to find the starting sentence. I hope you have done that. The starting sentence is third. Yes, the starting sentence is third. Third is my first sentence. If third is my first sentence, which sentence is going to be the second one? The second, little differently from the norm, metaphors may map to similar meanings across languages. After that, one is going to come. After I'm so sorry. After that, not one, my bad. It should be Latin scholars point out. It is going to be two. Yes. So, of course, yes, I'm explaining. So, even I can go wrong. No problem. I'm a human being. So, after three, two is going to come. And after that, guys, fourth is explaining by an example of what is mentioned in two, three, two, four, and the last sentence is one. Now, now, guys, the best way to learn parajumble is not by attempting the question and then moving on to the next one. It is about once you have attempted the parajumble, go through the right answer. If you have not got it, if you have got it, good job, well done. But if you have not got the right answer, go through the sequence, read that, analyze it, and understand that what you missed. What is the reason that that is the sequence? What is the reason that why you didn't get the right sequence? Focus on that reason. Focus on that reason that why you didn't get it and why this is the sequence. Once you keep on doing that, that practice of self analysis and introspection will help you to get the right answer every time. Now, let's go to one more question, guys. I want you guys to read these 4 lines and pause the video, read these 4 lines, and try to arrange them into sequence. Remember those pointers as I've mentioned. I hope you paused the video, you went through the lines. Now, guys, one more mistake in Parajumble is that people take assumptions or conclusions. I'm saying again and again. They say that this sentence cannot be the start. That sentence cannot be the start. Now, here, the starting sentence is an example of a lost cognitive instinct. But yes, I know there are people who teach Parajumble. They say that this sentence is a short sign that it is going to be at the second position, third position. That is wrong. You need to read the passage. Now, let me explain that to you by a white background. A paragraph is there, a random passage is there, or an article there. Examiner is going to take few lines from here. Let's say these are few lines taken, 4 lines are taken from the paragraph, and they are jumbled and presented it to you as a question to attempt. Now, of course, these lines are taken from here. So maybe the first line is starting with a sentence like an example. So do not assume things, guys. Try to go through the way it is. Deal a situation the way it is. Do not assume things. When you are entering the examination halls, there are various tricks and strategies, and I know many people are doing that. Those things won't help you because you never know things are going to be that way or not. And trust me, more than 99% times, chances are that the things go not in the same way. So let me give you the right answer here. The right answer is 2341. Now, the reason why I'm giving you the answer, because I want you guys to read it and ask yourself why 2341 is the answer. That is the way to go for it. At any given point, if you want, you can pause the presentation and go through it. Now, guys, there is one last thing before I end this video, is that read and write as much as you can. That is the most important thing. People say that you read and that's it, and your verbal is done. And of course, you practice questions. But then reading is important, but writing is even more important, especially for questions like parajumble. Whenever you read an article, think, analyze, and imagine that you are the author and write it in your own way. And next time, whenever you are going to, now this is the last line, whenever you are going to attempt a parajumble, rather than attempting a parajumble, go through the parajumble, of course, attempt it, and then look at the right answer and then speculate, analyze that why that is the right sequence. Think, imagine, because that thinking, that imagining, that analyzation will help you to get the right answer next time. I hope this video will help you to get more clarity about parajumble. Of course, there are basic lectures of parajumble in my YouTube list. I am going to share the YouTube link with you guys in the description box. Please go through it. I hope this video will help you to get clarity about parajumble and how to approach it. Thank you guys. Do good. Best of luck.